the 3 reasons, and obviously there's always more reasons when we're talking about key reasons and mistakes and strategies and so on. There's always more, but there's 3 key reasons people want more for their life. Now, this has all come about based on the conversations I've had, the coaching calls I've had, seeing where people have at, where people have posted on social media. And it's really important that we are listening. We're continually listening to what's happening around us. Who are the people that are around us, that are impacting, who are affecting our own life based on their communication, based on their actions and so on. Now, hey Rosa, so the 3 reasons people want more for their life. Number 1 that I've found over my time of working with people is a lot of people, and I can hold my hand up right here and right now in regards to this, is that people want more. They feel like they're living an existence. They feel like they're just going through like Groundhog Day every day. They feel like they're waking up, they're having their breakfast, they're going to work, they're coming home, they're having dinner, they're sitting in front of the TV, whatever it is, or they're going to the gym, they're doing things, but it's the same repetitive task day in, day out. And there comes a point where we have to actually start looking at ourselves if we want to move forward, if we want to achieve more and experience more. Now, I can certainly relate to this in regards to when I was actually in a place where I believed I was happy. And in reflection, looking back now, I really wasn't happy. I was actually unconscious to what was happening in my life. I was not aware of all the great things I could have been doing, not only for me to experience, but also for others to experience, to make an impact in the lives of other people. So it was only when I was able to look back and say, hang on, I've just been living an existence here. This isn't really where I want to be. I really want to be moving forward. I want to be moving in the direction that I believe I came here to be living. So ask yourself this question, and if you've ever been in this situation where you know that you've wanted more, comment below, comment and let me know. When was it? When was the year you came to a level of realization? It might be right now whilst we're on this live, while we're on this call right now. It might be right now that there's things that have already just from me speaking in this first few minutes that are starting to go, hang on a minute, am I just actually surviving? Am I just existing? Am I not actually listening to my calling? Am I not being aware of the opportunities that are coming my way? And what's really important while I'm touching on this is that not every single opportunity is for you. That's really important to understand. Not every single opportunity is for you. So we start looking at the things that are really important for us, because as human beings, we're designed to evolve. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Tracy. We're designed to evolve. We're designed to grow. And we come here for this growth period. So if we are not challenging ourselves on a daily basis, then we aren't growing. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you want to attract, you want to help yourself grow, you want to help yourself experience a better life and potentially impact the lives of other people, then we have to be challenging ourselves. We have to get uncomfortable. And many people choose to continue to live their life in a place of comfort. Now, you wouldn't be listening to this right now if you didn't believe that you deserve to stay where you are. I know that you're watching this right now and you've continued to stay with me just in these first few minutes because there is something that you desire. There's more for you. There's more that you want in your life. And if you're one of those people that has heard that awakening, has heard that calling, is maybe going through it right now, or is just sat there wondering, well, how will I know? How will I know if I'm just existing, if I'm not living the life? You'll know because the seed now has been planted, and you will start to notice things that are happening that start to really stand out louder than they ever did before. Things that may have just had no level of attachment to you, or you had no level of attachment to them, all of a sudden you start being aware of them and you're like, this really isn't fulfilling me. This isn't giving me what I want. I want more than this. And unfortunately, I don't know what to do, but I know I need something else. I know I need to change the direction. I know I need to change the set of my sail to help me move forward. Now, these people, and I truly believe it's conditioning from society, as we've grown up, these people, they never achieve the dreams. And the reason when we talk about dreams, a lot of people have a huge detachment to dreams, because dreams are always those things that as we're growing up are told we will never achieve. Dreams are these unrealistic expectations of ourselves, unrealistic successes that, because we grow up around family members, around certain friends and so on, we can be disempowered. Now, I'm not saying my parents, my family members, my friends have disempowered me, because my choice to act on any of them, even as a child, is extremely important. So I have to take ownership for every single moment. And I certainly don't blame my mum, dad, brother, other family members and friends along my journey, because I am where I am because of those people and the influence that they've made in my life. And I'm very grateful. I'm the person I am because of every single person in my past and in my reality right now. So have a good think about where you sit in that. Have a good think about those relationships you've had, whether it be with family members, friends, intimate partners. Every single relationship has been an experience and has helped you become the person you are today. And if you're not happy with the person you are today, if you're not happy in the place that you currently are, then it's time to actually move forward. It's time to draw that line in the sand, because you're awakened to it now. It's time to go and find the people, the mentors, the people who get in the success in the area that you want it. Success leaves clues, remember, so to move forward in that direction. Because when our dreams aren't becoming our reality, we feel disempowered. And when we look on social media and all these people that are living the life that we desire, that you desire, that you want to live. But in all fairness, I know a lot of people that drive around in Lamborghinis and Ferraris and so on. They don't own them, but they show up like they own them. Park in front of big mansions and so on. And they live this life, which they enjoy for themselves, but they market it to manipulate people into thinking that if they choose to partner with them, they're going to be able to achieve that level of success. And it's all false advertising. It's all fake. We've got it in society. There's so much fake marketing to manipulate us as human beings, to manipulate our mind into thinking, oh, that's good for me. I need that. I must have that if I want this. If I want this result, I must have this. And unfortunately, most of the marketing is done from a scarcity mindset. It's done for it to make it sound like your life's crap, you need more. You should be following what I'm doing. You need this product, you need to be taking this supplement, you need to be drinking this shake, you need to be doing this business, whatever it is. There's a lot of manipulation to get you to try and follow certain people. And what you've got to look at, and what I encourage you to look at this point, because really with these three, the way that I've worked them in regards to these three reasons is from a foundational point to then looking at what the problem is to then making that shift. Okay, so the whole angle around this is we've got to get down to the base model, and we've got to focus first of all in that non-existence. So when we start looking into that level of marketing, a lot of it is done from a place of fear. It's scarcity marketing, and that's then making people feel bad. So they'll talk about the negative stuff. They'll really push people down instead of focusing on the actual result, the benefits, the vibrancy of it all. So then you start looking at the vibration, because if the way that you're being marketed to has a low vibration and it's very much talking about the problems and so on, then what we've got to do is actually shift, because if we're in a state where we're not happy, then we're currently in a low vibration, and we need our vibration elevated. We need it raised. So what helps raise it is the communication from the marketers, from the companies. This is what's really important. So this is what I encourage you to look at, especially if you're the kind of person who is marketing now, who has a business, is live on social media and so on. How are you marketing? Are you coming from a place of disempowering, a low vibration, or are you empowering people? Are you actually high? And don't just say I'm high because I'm making a difference in people's lives. Notice how you're marketing. I went through this when I was creating a website, and I asked a friend of mine to have a look at it, and she said, "Why have you worded that like that?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean? It's saying really what it is." She says, "Yeah, but You're so energetic, your vibration is so high, you're so passionate, and when people are around you, they feel that energy. That's a very low energy, that's a very low vibration. Be the who person you are, exactly the way you share it when you're at networking groups and meetings and so on. Be that person, don't fall for what everybody else is doing. And that's where I became aware of it, and I went, I didn't realize that I was doing that. So have a really good think about how you market, how you're going out there and sharing that content and adding value to people, not even just from a business point, but from a life point. From you being here, having this physical experience, how are you making that difference? Because it is very, very important that you're aware of this. And what I find with a lot of these people who find themselves living an existence, they're not motivated. Now, a lot of the people who I have coaching calls, obviously, they're motivated to make the coaching call happen, which then means that there's going to be some level of result because they had to take action. Like the things that I want you to really look at are the things that have got you to where you are. What is the actions that you've had to take over the course of those years? You know, even right now, watching this video, there was an action that you chose to actually jump on, to listen, to be engaging and commenting below when anything's coming up, what you're experiencing, what's maybe even triggering you, what you've done to shift along your journey to help yourself grow. But what I find is a lot of these people are stuck there. They don't even know, and they're not even motivated to shift out of it because they're just going through life. And when you're here for bigger things, the universe will truly awaken you to that. But if you continue to fight, the universe will fight back. And hopefully you don't get to the stage where I got to, but hopefully you become aware of it. And by watching this video right now, you are going to become aware. As I mentioned, there's a seed planted in your unconscious mind. It's going to be constantly evolving around, and something's going to happen where all of a sudden it comes into your consciousness. And you're like, hang on a minute, I need to pay attention to this. And I really do encourage you to actually think about the power of that. Think about exactly what that's going to do for you to help you move forward. Because life isn't about standing still. It isn't about falling backwards. It's about moving forward all the time. If you go and speak to anyone who's in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I can guarantee that the majority, a very, very high percentage of the population, and I'd be very confident in saying round about 90% of people, if not more, in those age brackets, will be reflecting on their life and going, I wish I had done more. I wish I could have that time again. Because we can't get time back. It's the most valuable commodity we've got, and yet we abuse it. Oh, I can do that next week, I can do that next year, I can do that whenever. But, you know, I was recently at a four-wheel drive event, and one of the questions I asked to a couple of guys who actually have a YouTube channel traveling all over Australia, doing four-wheel drive videos, and said, what's your advice for anyone who wants to get to go off and do a whole trip of Australia? And the response was, just do it. Like, there's no advice. There's people who say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to. And there's people who just go out and do it. And he says, and when somebody finishes that trip and you ask them, do you regret it? They're like, hell no, that was one of the best things I ever did. I'm glad I didn't wait any longer for it. I just went out and did it. And we all know that there's been times in our lives where we've just had to act. We've just had to take action. We've not been able to think about anything else because we've just had to take action in that moment. It could be crossing the road and you didn't see the car coming and all of a sudden you start running. There had to be an action taken to get you the result that you needed. It can be in any other area of your life. So my encouragement here is to be aware of if you are just living in existence or if you are taking the actions to help you move in the direction you want. And I know that there's many people around me who inspire me. There's many people who are watching this video right now, yourself, who have an impact and are able to impact my life and other lives because you're taking action, because you're still with me right now. You know, this is very, very important that we're aware of this. So as I look at some of these comments here, it was about 3.5 years ago. So I packed up my house, hooked up my van, popped the kids in the back of the car and took off. Since I've been back, I've been looking for ways and taking action to learn and do to change my life and make our lives better than I could ever imagine. Fantastic, wonderful share there, Tracy. Thank you so much. Hey, Dan, that's really, really in-depth. I have changed myself throughout my life, sometimes to the upset of others. Learning and moving forward has always been important to me. You have to go out of your comfort zone to understand who you are and to let other people who are meant to come into your life come in. Absolutely, beautifully shared as well, Rosa. That's fantastic. And obviously I can really relate to a lot of what you've said there with my own experience throughout that. On and off all my life, it's been like a wave. Letitia, hey, great to see you, Letitia. Hey, Martin, hope everyone is feeling great. Absolutely. I never wanted to say that. I wish I had done. Yeah, 100%. We don't want to get to that age of really saying, I wish I'd done that. You know, me moving to Australia, all I knew was my soccer manager, his wife and 2 kids, and one guy from the gym. I didn't really know anyone. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything to do. I'd only ever been on here for, even when I was applying for residency, I'd never even come here, but I thought I better come here and have a week and see if I definitely want to move to Perth. And lo and behold, I just packed my bags and went and started a new life. Looked around and went, well, nobody knows me here. I've got a clean slate. I can start again, and off I go. I'll make new friends. I'll start working. I'll get clients. I'll do whatever I need to do to make it work. Because if somebody else can do it around the world, I can do it. And I encourage you to adopt that attitude. You know, there's people who say to me, oh, that's an incredible attitude. I couldn't be like that. You couldn't be like that because you're choosing to be like that. Like, this is really, really important. We get that level of clarity. I believe it was Henry Ford that said, if you believe you can't or you believe you can, you're right. You know, so you look at it and go, well, if you believe you can go and do something, and I don't mean that if you're, 5'2" and you can, and you're going to go and slam dunk, you know, it's not a wish. It's actually a belief, an inner knowing that you can go and do that. You know, there's things that I know that I'm not physically able to go and do. However, there's things that I know that I'm not educated in, but I'll go and find out a way to get that result that I need. And that's happened throughout most of my life, but especially the last 7 years have been huge, huge, huge growth because I've just not taken no for an answer. And if I've wanted to do it, I've found a way to do it. But those things that I wasn't interested in doing or I knew that I wasn't able to do, I found the people who were passionate about it, that enjoyed doing it, and got aligned with them to help me get the result that I needed to get. So I've just gone off track a little bit there. But that was number one, all around the fact that living in existence, not feeling fulfilled, feeling like we want more. So one of the other big reasons people want more for their life, notice how I emphasize the word for their life, is financially struggling. Now, so many people that I speak to are wanting more money, are struggling to pay the bills, are living paycheck to paycheck, which basically means only just able to pay the bills, get enough food on the table, not able to go and do the additional things that they want to do, which is like a lot of people in society, especially with the economy that we've been struggling with for the last several years. So what we're now looking at is people are motivated, as in sometimes motivation takes place because of a problem. And I'd say sometimes, in fact, it's probably a lot of the times. Motivation, we get sick, we think about our health. You know, that's a common one. People get sick all of a sudden, I need to start thinking about my health. And it's like, really? We're reactive beings because we've been so conditioned throughout our journey from birth right the way through to be reactive instead of proactive. So where do you sit right now? Comment below. Do you believe, irrelevant of the past, I want you to be present in this moment right now and be 100% authentic with your response, with your answer. Comment below if you believe that you're reactive in areas of your life or proactive in areas of your life, the areas that mean the most to you. So when you think about your values, if health is up there as a value, are you proactive or are you reactive? So what would you label yourself as? If you were to give yourself a label between reactive and proactive, what would it be? So share that below. So struggling to pay the bills. You know, they want more for their life, but they're actually struggling. And one of the big things as well, where I speak to a lot of people who are wanting to spend more time with their family, wanting to be able to give their family far more, wanting to make a difference in the lives of the family as well as them, to the lives of the family members as well as themselves. And one of the big things is, what am I going to leave behind? What am I going to leave behind for my family? Is this time that I'm here right now, and I want you to really think about this, is this time that I'm here right now just going to be me surviving and then expecting my children or nephews and nieces and so on to continue to go through that cycle? Other generations to continue to go through that cycle? Now, for me personally, I left England because I knew that if I was blessed to have a family, I didn't want a family in England. And that's no disrespect to anybody who lives in England. It was just my wishes. So that's why I moved off to Australia and said, I want to create something big. I want to create a legacy here. Now, if I don't have a family here, well, then that's just the way it is. And I have no attachment to that either. I have zero attachment to whether I do or don't. But if it is meant to be, at least I did make that choice. At least I showed that resilience to actually move forward and not be afraid to draw that line in the sand and move over. To not let the financial stress of moving over with enough money to get everything I needed to start a business and then be back to zero. To not worry about that, to just go, this is what I need to do for my own life. Remember, you have to fill your own cup up first before you can help anybody else. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out and you'll be of no use to yourself or anybody else. We know this, but unfortunately many of us, including myself, tend to give too much without refilling, without recharging. So what we find as well is when we're looking at financially struggling, what does that create? It creates a lot of stress. And we see family members, we see families, parents, grandparents and so on separate because of financial stress. The arguments over can't afford to pay the bills and so on that are created. And we attack each other. We attack each other from frustration. And it's only finances, it's only money. And I know for a fact that there's people out there who are going through financial hardship who could actually sell stuff that they don't need. They could actually reduce the outgoings. Get rid of Netflix. Get rid of but I need it. You don't need it. It's a want. You don't need all these new clothes. You don't need the new car. You don't need the gym membership. There's all these things that you can do. If it gets that bad, there's so much you can find online. You don't need to pay for that business coach. If you can find people online, you can join a community. You can do the things that you need to do. But what you start doing is you start looking at exactly where you can save money. Okay, so you've got to start, let's start here, where you can save money. Because saving money is generating money. Saving money is generating money. When people say to me, oh, but I want to earn money, I want to earn this amount of money in this amount of time, and they're solely focused, tunnel vision on they want it from the result from that. But the thing is, this money's coming in. They may have got a discount on something. They may have got some cash back. Some shares might have matured or whatever it is. And they get this money and they don't even see it because they're so focused on this. And they're still stressed. They're still in a state of stress. And what does stress cause? What does stress cause? It causes illness and disease. When our body's in a state of stress, it can't function properly. So therefore, it manifests more problems. It creates more acidity in the body. It creates more oxidative stress in the body, which then goes on to damage the health of our body. How are we able to function when our body's stressed? And when we're looking at it from an angle of financial stress, like really, we've got so attached to money because of society's conditioning that we've allowed to happen. We've got so attached to it that it controls. People take their life because of money problems. I've spoken about this before, a friend of mine did. And there's been times where I've had pretty much zero and been heavily in debt. And there's been moments where it's like, well, what's the point? It'd be easy to just leave. But it's a flippant thought. It's not a reality. Because when you're focused on doing that level of saving and cleansing yourself, truly selling stuff off is cleansing yourself and getting what you need to be able to invest it in what means so much more to you, to invest it in the things that are going to be taking you in the direction that you need to go, that fulfills you, that makes you happier, that gives you a sense of purpose. That energy shift, that vibration shift is going to help you move in the direction you need to go. That's going to help you make the difference that you want to make. But if you continue to remain here for a choice because you're not choosing to actually look around, see what you can sell, see what can go. I had a bloody racing bike here. I had a racing bike here that I bought, I'm going to say 4 years ago. And I'd ridden it once. It cost me $4,500. I rode it once. I sold it for $1,650, I think. $1,600 or something. So that was $1,600 that came in that was just sat there. Now you might not have a bike like that. You might even have a car. I know somebody who sold the car and the racing bike to get more money in, to invest it in their business, to help them move forward. So have a good think around, and it's not about investing in your business, it's about investing in your life. What do you need to do to help yourself move forward? You don't need Netflix. I don't even own a TV. And that's not me being weird or saying I'm better than you or not better than you. It's just that I don't see the value in me owning a TV. I've got a laptop. I can watch what I want on my laptop. There's money gone. The amount of people's homes that I go into, and they're saying that they're struggling, but they've got the latest bloody 70-inch TV. They've got the DVD or Blu-ray player or whatever it is these days. They've got all these things. They've got all the fancy gadgets. And I'm like, you've got no money? It's pretty clear to see why you've got no money. So we've got to have a look at what are the things that we need versus what are the things that we want to help reduce that financial burden, because it will result in stress amongst our family. It will result in relationships breaking. It will result in illness and disease. And unfortunately, for some, and I truly hope this isn't you right now, but it will result in taking their life. And we have to become aware of this for money. Which is, you know, if you've ever read the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, you'll know that within the first few pages, it talks about there isn't even enough money. If everybody went to the banks and said, we want the money, it doesn't even exist. There isn't enough money for everybody to go and draw it out the banks. So this attachment we have to money is disempowering us every single day. Every single day. We have to look within, we have to turn and look at ourselves if we want our abundance, so to speak, our financial abundance to shift. I'm reading a book at the moment which is really interesting around the brain and our thought patterns and the conditioning we've allowed to happen and how that affects us earning more money. It's really interesting. It is fairly deep for reading for me, but I'm working my way through it slowly. I get up at 5 a.m. and I've been reading an hour each morning and going through that at the start of the morning before, and I'm actually finding that it's really empowering. And you know what? Within the first day of me spending that hour reading, I got a sale in my business. I got a sale in my business of reading that. Now you can say, oh, well, that's just luck. But I created a change. I created a shift. And that energetic shift was heard by the universe, and the universe decided to reward me. Whether you believe in the universe or not is irrelevant, but the universe decided to reward me. That's my belief. And what happens when you believe something? You start to grow. Things start to shift around you. Your energy changes. Your posture changes. There's a state that changes. There's a shift within you. It's irrelevant what you think or anybody else thinks about that situation for me, because they're not walking there and living my life. The results that I get aren't affecting their life. So it's really important that you start focusing on yourself in regards to this. What do you need to do to help you grow and achieve more and be over here moving in the direction that you want to go? Okay, so just checking in here. Annette, great to see you. Hi, yes, it's so easy and definitely the best thing I've ever done. Halfway around the country, just do it. Totally, that's traveling around the country. I'm out of stuff to sell. So, me too. Hi, Steve. I needed to hear this message today. Fantastic. Thanks for commenting there, everyone, and thanks for sharing as well, Steve. It's always wonderful that people need to hear. People are ready to hear this. You know, there's a very need and should. They're very strong words, but people, when it's the right time, they show up and choosing to take action and be on this right now, on this video right now. is really what for yourself to applaud yourself, because you've chosen to take action, and the result is what you needed to hear, whatever it is. It might not even be for you. It might be that you're listening to this and it's getting in your subconscious mind, and all of a sudden you're talking to someone and you went, oh, I heard this the other day. It might be one line that you hear that really shifts that person's life, and you've been the messenger. You've shared something, and this is the power of being aware of what's going on. We're able to absorb. We're constantly absorbing. That's why they say listen to personal development while you're sleeping. Your subconscious mind is picking it up. You know, when you're driving and you've got the radio on, and then all of a sudden a few weeks later you're singing the brand new song, but you've been paying attention to driving. You've not been paying attention to learning the words. Your subconscious mind's been picking it up, and all of a sudden you're singing along with the song. That's happened to pretty much every single song. You might not have been driving every time, but you've been in an environment where you may have been doing something else, and all of a sudden you've picked it up. So you're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving. So when we look at those foundational problems, one of the or challenges or reasons really is the word that I'd rather use. And remember, the whole angle of this was the 3 reasons people want more for their life. So we're not talking about more in their life as in materialistic things, as in cars and motorbikes and boats and clothes and all this kind of stuff. We're not talking about that. We're talking about more for their life, the meaning, the actual meaning of their life. Because all those things are nice. You know, I like a nice car and I like all these things. They're nice. But realistically, at the end of your life, when you get into that point, to actually be able to sit there or stand there and say, I had such an incredible life, I've loved this journey, and I'm so grateful I impacted the lives of other people. Or do you turn around and go, oh, it was fantastic having that car, that bike, that boat, whatever it is, that big house, which is fine. But in doing so, you tread on other people to get to where you needed to get to. You used other people to get to where you needed to get to. You actually left a low vibration in there, because people don't remember the materialistic things you have, because we don't have an emotional connection to those. What they remember is the impact that you made whilst you were here. And that's the emotional attachment we have. For instance, Wayne Dyer, to me, I absolutely adore and love Wayne Dyer. He's not with us anymore. I never even met the guy. But I absolutely love what he's done for me. And I never met him. I've just listened to his audios and watched his videos and so on, and read some of his books. And the connection, the impact, I absolutely adore him. I'm so grateful that he chose to be the person that he was. Like, that's the impact that we can make, even when we're not here. The difference, the things we can leave behind. And it's easier today than it's ever been because of the power of social media, because of the power of video and so on. So, just checking on that. Fantastic. So we've got those 2 really foundationals, but really when we start looking at it, and it follows on from what I was just saying, there's a lot of people that I speak to who want to make a difference. Not only in their own lives, but they want to make a difference in the lives of other people. Maybe in from the religious side, maybe in the church, the mosque, whatever it might be. They want to make a difference. They want to support. They want to go over to another country and give back to maybe a third world country, or a country that's going through, or an area that's going through nature stress from nature, whether it be fires or earthquakes or whatever it may be, to go and actually give their energy and support other people and provide their love. So we're looking at making a difference in other people's lives. We're looking at supporting those people who are less fortunate. We're also looking at making a difference in our own life. We're also wanting to elevate where we're at. We're wanting to experience more. We're wanting to become better. Because one of the things that really does impact us when we start asking those questions, how can I become more? What can I do that's going to be better than I've done before? Am I going to get to the end of the day and have made a difference? Am I able to reflect on what's happened today? What am I grateful for? What are the 3 things that have excited me? What am I proud about over the 3 things? Pride. Oh, pride and proud, they're so powerful. You know, your pride. What is your pride? What is it that you What drives you every day? Your pride, what is it that's really giving you that burning flame, that desire? And then think about, how are you making others proud of you? Your parents, your family members, your friends, the people you meet, your business relations, whatever it is. How are they proud of you for what you do? You know, this is as I mentioned earlier on, it's irrelevant what people think of you, and your attachment to that is very important to help you move in the direction that you want to go. Because if you do have an attachment to needing to get confirmation from people to help you feel better, you're always going to be living life small. You're always going to be disempowered because you're always going to be searching for that confirmation. And when you don't get it, you feel disempowered. It's better to live a life where you are grateful for it, but you don't need it. Where you are grateful for it, but you don't need it. I genuinely have no attachment to people saying, this is a great video, that was a great webinar you did, that was a great presentation you did, that was a great speech, that was a great level of information, that was a great website you built. I don't have any attachment to any of that. I'm grateful when I receive those compliments, but I don't need them. Because I know that every day I'm doing something that is empowering me, that is helping me grow, that's helping make a difference in the world. So I encourage you to have a look at, where is your thought process around this? If you're wanting to make a difference, so you're getting applauded by other people, so you're getting the accolades, the rewards, so that you're seen as this person who's all high and mighty, then you are choosing to disempower yourself. By going out there and having no attachment and just coming from a place of love to serve other people, it's going to fill your own cup. It's going to help you at the end of the day when you reflect and think, wow, I'm so happy for that. You know, you've seen the people who get their mates to go and film them going over and helping somebody, a homeless person, and giving them 50 bucks or doing whatever it is and posting it on social media. You've seen that. Why do they do it? It's ego. Because if you weren't coming, or they weren't living from a place of ego, they wouldn't post it. They'd be happy with themselves within. They wouldn't need to share that with other people. You know, there's some people in society who we view based on what the media perceives them to be as not very nice people. Yet, when we dive in and we find out and we do more research, they actually do some incredible things and give back so much. But the media doesn't focus on that. The media wants to actually crush them. Because what sells? Destruction. What sells? Negativity. Because we read that, we want to buy it, we want to sit there and watch it, we want to listen to it, because that makes us feel better in our life, because we go, well, my life's better than that. I'm not going through that problem. You know, that person's an idiot. The incredible amount that we do as human beings and judgment. And once again, I'm not guilty. I make judgments every single day, and I'm aware of them, and I go back in and say, hang on a minute, who gives you the right to judge? You know, judging that person for what she or he is eating, judging that person for what she or he is wearing, judging that person for the way he or she walks. Who gives me the right? And why am I giving myself, more importantly, the right to go and do that? Because remember, everything, and the great thing about it is awareness. And you right here, right now, are listening to this, and you are getting a level of awareness, a level of clarity, and the seed has been planted. So if you find yourself doing this, you're aware of it, and you're able to revert that back and send that person love, as well as send yourself love, because you're only emitting that when you're not in a state of pure love. You're only emitting negativity when you're not in a state of pure love, which helps you grow and helps you build up that and be aware of it. So don't knock yourself down for it. This is an empowerment stage. This is where you want to be. That awareness is empowerment. To not be aware is continually to fall apart, but to become aware of where you are, that you're not happy in your life, that you want more, that you know you can achieve more, that you're going to be a better person, that you're going to retract anything that you've said to actually then emit love and send it out there to the world, because that's exactly what you want to do. And also what you want to receive, because remember, what you share out there will come back to you. What you share out will come back to you. So I really encourage you to have a good think about how you're choosing to live each day. And when you start implementing that, and I encourage you to do that, 3 things at the end of the day before you go to bed, sit there, lie there, whatever it may be, in a state of just gratitude and reflection, and say, and ask yourself, even if you're going to write it down and journal it, what are the 3 things that you are happy about today, proud of yourself for doing? Even if it was just that you did mock somebody else, but you were aware of it and you took it back. Like, even if it was just that, because that's what's going to help you grow. That's what's going to help you move forward. That, in all fairness, is what's going to help you make a difference. You know, Will Smith's grandma said that if you're not making a difference in at least one person's life while you're here, you're wasting your time being here. Like, that's really powerful. I remember Will sharing that and hearing that several years ago and thinking, wow. And I've loved being of service to other people. I've loved, as I've been growing up, helping other people out. Because the value of the energy that I received was just so great. But I was constantly doing it at the cost of not looking within, not opening the door within to fill my own cup, to give even more value. And it was only around about, I'd say, 4 years ago maybe, where the shift took place. Actually, 5 years ago now, crikey, 2019. 5 years ago where the shift took place, and I started to realize the true level of value that I could share. So don't think that you're at your maximum peak, because even I'm not. You're not at your maximum peak of sharing and giving value. And remember, every time you give value, you're growing yourself, but you must make sure that you are filling your own cup. Reflecting on those 3 things are filling your own cup. Getting that energy, rewarding yourself, realizing how great you are, how tremendous you are, how wonderful you are. Please give yourself back that self-love. So great. Thanks for everybody. You are my inspiration. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you to my mother. So comment below what you've really enjoyed. What has been the best, biggest takeaway? What's really resonated with you on this video? Because it's always important to find out where people are at, what's going on, and also share that, put that out there to the world, put that out there to the universe in regards to the value you received, because you took the time to spend that with me. I've been very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to share with you right now, and I do look forward to speaking to you again soon. As always, peace, love, and happiness. I'll speak to you very soon. Take care, and bye for now. Enjoying my YouTube channel? Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell to receive further value.